Yes, this beat is soothing. It literally gives me the illusion of being in a coffee shop. Like just that nice, calm beat with a nice sip. And I'm just gonna dive in. No Trey songs. Anyways, there's so many things that we do on a daily basis. We have to get ready to go to work. We have to get ready to go to school. We have to take care of kids. We have to figure life out, figure everything out, figure bills out, pay all of this up, debt and everything else. And there's a lot of things that clouds our minds. And towards the end of the day or the week, what are we really doing ourselves to make sure that we have a proper reset? Like, what are we doing for us? What does that look like for you? And in this episode, we're going to explore self-care. Why is it so important? What does it really mean? And the tips and steps that you can take today to start your journey in having a wonderful self-care scenario. And I just wanted to have this beat to just put you in that nice, like, calm mood. So let's just start and dive in. This is Save the Good Girl. I'm Erica, and we're about to get started on your self-care journey. Oh, yes. I hope that calmed you down. It definitely calmed me down. I really like the way that beat sounded. I was like, ooh, this is soothing. So, people escape in very, very different ways. And sometimes when you do them in excess, it just causes a place where it's just not healthy. So they can utilize shopping, they can utilize working, they can utilize sex, drugs, food, alcohol, so many other things that you can do. Once you do it in excess, it becomes a problem. And the truth is, I think that we do need to escape, but there are healthy ways for us to do that. And we need to understand, more importantly, what is our emotional capacity? When can you just say, nope, I have to stop? I need to do something? Because I realized as I got older, you constantly have to reset. It's not just waiting for Sunday to reset and then Monday comes and you reset. Sometimes people can throw you off your game, or sometimes you just get thrown off your game from something else, whatever that may be. And you have to reset. You have to reset, and we have to keep going. So sometimes your reset is really quick. And in order to have your reset to feel good in that moment, like, okay, I know something's off. I need to do something now. So let me do this. And that's where it starts, right? So you are aware that something is not right. Majority of people know their emotional capacities because this is when they resort to things that they shouldn't resort to. So there's a level where you're just like, nope, I cannot deal with this. So I'm going to do this. We can still do that, but what if we did that in a healthier way? What if we created a routine that really works for us and that's not going to be a detriment to our safety or our health? Now, I remember a couple of years ago, I actually had a moment where it just was really, really stressful for me at work. It was really, really, really stressful. I was burned out. I had so many other things going on personally. I was talking to this guy and that didn't work out. And then my job was just extremely stressful. And I was just feeling a lot of chest pains. And I went to the doctor and I did all sorts of tests. And she's like, Erica, there's nothing wrong. I did EKGs, I did breast exams. I mean, everything you could think about, I did it just to make sure. Cause I'm like, I don't know, something just doesn't feel right. So when the doctor asked me, do you feel stressed? And I said, I mean, yeah, a little bit, but I'm handling it. Because of course, as you're going and going and going, you're thinking that you're fine. And because I'm still going, like, I'm okay. I mean, yeah, I'm stressed, but normal. That's what I was thinking. But then it really, really started to affect my health. It started to scare me. And I remember she told me, well, there's nothing I can give you except for you taking 2 weeks off. And I was like, 2 weeks off? I can't do that. I have to work. I have projects. I have deadlines. I have all these things that I need to do. This is our busy season. Like, I can't. And she's like, Erica, you have to. You have to do this. So she gave me the note. And you would think right after receiving that note that I would just be like, yep, let me give it to my job. I am not going to go to work. Did I do that right away? No, I did not. I went back to work the next day, and the stress was just pounding again. The feeling in my chest was worse. So at that point, I was just like, okay, this is a little bit serious more than I thought. I had to stop. I had to pause. As I discussed in the last episode, when life gives you disruptions, you're forced to pause, and that's what happened to me. So I was forced, and in that moment, I had 2 weeks off. That was my medication. 2 weeks off. So I was thinking, like, what am I going to do during these 2 weeks? When you're so used to going and you're so used to being busy, sometimes being still is uncomfortable because you're not used to that. So I'm like, what am I going to do for 2 weeks? Like, what am I going to do? And randomly, I decided, I think the second week, it was so random. It was like Monday night at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I decided that I was going to book a solo trip to the Bahamas. And the trip was scheduled for Wednesday. So I gave myself literally a day to pack, and I went to the Bahamas for a couple of days. When I booked this trip, I knew that I wanted to be intentional. I knew that I was stressed. I did not want to go or travel with friends. There were a couple of friends who wanted to join me, and I didn't want that. I really, really wanted to genuinely be alone, and I was looking forward to it. So I did my research, and I was looking for a resort that was like safe and had activities and really great reviews on the food, on the pool, on the drinks. I just wanted to make sure that I was comfortable, and if I didn't have to leave the resort, I don't have to. So I found a really, really great resort in the Bahamas, and it was just great. It was so like one of the best things I could have ever done. I downloaded a book called How to Declutter Your Mind, and I read. I brought my journal. I brought my speakers. I was listening to Mary J. Blige like crazy this trip. Like, I don't know why. Also, Janae Aiko, I love her. She's like literally one of my favorite artists. I just love her music. So I was able to listen to music. I was able to write. And even though it was a solo trip, I was still able to meet people and like talk. So I didn't really feel lonely. I felt like I could have had more alone time because it's like, come do this with us. And come. I'm like, girl, listen, sis, I'm trying to like get my mind right. Hello. But y'all want to call me every day for freaking dinner. So I'm just like, fine. When I was meeting people, and I'm like, I might as well just go. And it was amazing. And the pain, that awkward feeling that I was feeling, I didn't feel it anymore. I felt really, really good. And I was like, you know what? When I go back to work, I'm going to feel amazing. And I know exactly how I'm going to handle this. And I read this book and I took this trip. And I'm like, yeah, I'm great. And then I went back to work, and the first day back, I'm like, oh, hell no. That feeling was back again. So the thing is, I knew that I reached my emotional capacity. I literally could not take anymore. And I think if I continued to work, I don't know what would have happened to me. So my life was disrupted because I had to stop, I had to pause. And it was great. I'm happy I took this trip. And I did a lot. I've learned a lot about myself. I mean, I journaled like so many pages. I cried. I listened to my music. I was in the pool because I love the water. The water makes me so, so happy. So I did all of those things. It was great. The thing is, when I got back, I did not think about how can I continue this feeling? How can I continue this emotion? Because I don't live in the Bahamas, right? I don't have access to this beautiful setting every day. But how can I create that in my mind? And that's when I realized from this trip why self care is so important. I would always do little things before. But the truth is, I never had a routine. It was just like, oh, I guess I'll do this now. But it was not a routine. So I'm just like, how can I continue this where I can still have this feeling, I can create this setting, but in my home. And that's where I just decided that, yeah, I definitely need a self care method and certain things that I genuinely enjoy. And I was like, yep, I'm going to do self care because It's not my time to die. I just know it's not. I got a lot of things to do and I still have kids to have. I don't have any kids right now. So I just feel like who's going to carry on my legacy? Like, okay, Jesus, because sis can't leave right now. She just can't. So I was like, I need to figure this out. And so that trip was so significant for me. And I've learned so much about myself. And I encourage, if you've never taken a solo trip, even if you just went to another state by yourself, I recommend that you do that. Be intentional, be with yourself, have an amazing time. It is so good. You don't have to work on anybody's time. You just do what you want. It's amazing. So I really thought that just doing this trip was enough, and it wasn't. So I had to do some self-care things for me. So right now, I'm just going to share with you guys what self-care methods do I do? Do I still do them now? Let's talk about it. Do I have a self-care routine now? Am I still doing them? What is it? The answer is yes. I definitely have a self-care routine. And I still do them. I don't have just, self-care Sundays or etc. I do them as needed. I might need a self-care Tuesday. I might need a self-care Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It varies. And some of the things that I do is I love candles. So I'll tell you about my whole vibe right now. I get candles. Like I go to TJ Maxx. I love TJ Maxx and I love the candles from TJ Maxx. And I literally find it like so much fun to smell candles and buy them. So I love candles. So I'll light a candle. I'll listen to Janae Aiko. Put that music on and I have the candles on. And then sometimes I'll put a mask on, or sometimes I'll be writing in my gratitude journal, or sometimes I'll talk to a friend. And doing that makes me feel calm. Or I take a really, really good shower with like a nice body wash. So I'm a scent person. My car needs to smell good. My room needs to smell good. The body wash, like I love perfume. So for me, anything scented really just does something different to me. It releases something in my brain. Like it just makes me calm. It makes me happy. So I have candles and I would do that. I would take like a really good shower, like a long shower. I would use like a scrub because when you're like rushing all the time, like you take your showers and stuff, but when you take like that really good shower, like a really, really good body wash, light my candles, put my mask on, or put Janae Aiko on, or any kind of like soothing R&B and just chill and mellow out. Sometimes I write, sometimes I read, sometimes I talk to a friend. Sometimes when I need a quicker pick me up, I'll watch a positive video on YouTube. I can watch a sermon. I can watch like one of those like informative videos, like the how-to videos, or I like Lisa Nichols online, so I will watch some of her videos. Basically anything positive, even if it's like a speech or something, but anything positive that's really going to just pick me up in that moment if I need a quick pick me up. And I would also pray. Like, I need to talk to my friend Jesus. Jesus is my best friend. So I would also talk to him and pray and just kind of release that. And sometimes I also meditate. I think that being still really does help, and just breathing literally helps. So if I can't do anything, I'll literally just breathe. I will go outside and breathe like a couple of deep breaths and then walk back in so I can just do what I need to do. So I definitely still do these self-care methods, and I feel like I have to. Like I literally have to. And when I'm meditating, when I'm listening to my music and I close my eyes, I just put myself in that space of just calmness and space of just stillness, because I don't in the point of self-care is that you do what you want. So for me in that moment, I don't want to do anything. I just want to be. I just want to be. I just want to, I do sit there and think about the things that I'm grateful for. Or I'll think about, oh, I really want to do X, Y, and Z, or whatever it is that I want to do. I don't have like this big to do list. The whole purpose for me with self care is to calm down, is to get myself mentally in a great space. Sometimes I do need to phone a friend or a family member and be like, listen, girl, we need to talk. Like I'll talk to my cousin listen. I'll talk to my friends. I'll talk to my sister or my mother. Like I have a beautiful network of people around me, and I'll need to just talk. I need to let it out. And many times, I'm not sure if this happens to you, but sometimes when I talk and as I'm talking, I'm literally giving myself the answers to what I'm calling about. So it's like, yeah, I just kind of need you to listen, but I kind of figured out what my issue is right now. And the thing is, you have to find a way to continue a practice whenever what you're doing is over. The trips are going to have an endpoint. Getting drinks with your friends is going to have an endpoint. Going to the spa is going to have an endpoint. You're not doing this on a 24-hour basis. You're just not. So when these things are over, when the parties are over, when the get-togethers are over, when the trips are over, um, when you're not around your partner, when you're not around your kids, whatever you're using to escape for whatever reason, when that's over, what do you have? Like, what are you going to do? You need to find a way to continue to keep this practice up, to keep yourself in a mental place that's safe and secure for you, not for anybody, but literally for you. I feel like it's important to develop a routine that works for you. I'm just sharing what I do. And if what I do sounds great to you, then I don't mind. Go ahead and do every single thing, but develop something. It could be rollerblading, running, being with your pet, watching the clouds, painting, whatever activity that you cooking, whatever activity that you like to do that just gets you in a better mood. That's really the focus of I was about to say pocus. That's the focus of self-care, is to get you in that space of literally taking care of you, being calm, doing whatever it is that you want to do, being still and having fun with this, something that you look forward to. I look forward to sometimes having a glass of wine, putting my mask on with my candles and my music. Like I look forward to that. Like that makes me happy. Like it definitely makes me happy. So whatever it is that you like, whatever hobby that you like, or if you don't have a hobby, but you always wanted to explore one, look into it, do something, whatever it is that's going to just make you feel good. Sometimes self-care is watching a show that makes you laugh till you cry. My sister loves The Office. I'll get into it. I just I watched one episode and I don't kill me. I just didn't see the big deal. But maybe I'll watch other episodes. But she loves The Office, and I always know when she watches it because it literally makes her cry. Like she's always crying when she watches this show, and I'm like, what are they talking about in this damn show? Um, so, I just think that it's important to, whatever that is, identify it, understand what that is, and apply it whenever you need it. Sometimes you have to understand self-care works in different ways. You need to have self-care moments that are very quick and rapid, and you can have self-care moments that are just like, I'm taking the whole weekend to do this. But whatever it is, you have to take care of yourself first. And then when you do that, oh, then you a superstar for everybody else around you, because you're such in a great space. You've protected your energy. You're so grateful. And now you're like taking care of yourself. I mean, you are the shit right now. You are the shit. So this is just to continue all of that for you. And for me, it's so important because it taught me that I now know what my emotional capacity is. I know when it's time for me to take a step back. I know when it's time for a mask. I know when it's time for a positive video. I know when it's time to phone a friend. And because I can identify these things a little earlier, it definitely can save you from I don't even know what, because you've identified like, oops, I need a pause, versus you doing something else that could steer you in the wrong direction. So it's so important to understand that you have to have a little routine for you, whatever that is. Develop one. It's the best thing you can do. So right now, I just want to talk about some self-care practices a little bit more in depth and so that you can figure out what really works for you? Like, which one can you utilize and what can you do? I gave you mine, but I just wanted to give you some more options. So let's get into that right now. We will get back to this fabulous episode, but I just wanted to let you know that you can find Save the Good Girl on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and YouTube. There is also a chance for you to be featured on the show. Check out the link in the description to send me a voice message. In addition to the podcast, did you know that Save the Good Girl has a blog? Be a part of VIP by subscribing to the email list on savethegoodgirl.com. So many options to stay connected. All right, let's get back to the episode. So, what is self care? According to counseling psychology, self care is defined as a multidimensional, multifaceted process of purposeful engagement and strategies that promote healthy functioning and enhance well being. That really is, just to sum it up, is you just doing a process to feel better and be happy mentally and physically. And there's a really great article on Very Well Mind. And this article talks about some of the key factors of the types of self care. And I wanted to talk to you guys about that. So, the first type of self care is the physical type of self care. So, something that I don't think people pay too much attention to is how much sleep you actually get and how important sleep is. Even if you watch a couple of YouTube videos of why sleep is so important, there's so many great benefits in getting a really, really good night rest for your health. Like, it's so many benefits. I would strongly recommend that you just Google like benefits of sleep, and you'll be surprised if you don't know them already. So having the right amount of sleep, eating properly so that you feel really good, and exercising, walking, and doing whatever exercise that works for you. I like Zumba. I need to get back into it, but Zumba and like dancing, girl, right? I'll be down there. I'll be dipping it low and picking it up like Christina Milian, okay? So the second thing is social self-care. Are you spending time with your friends, and are you nurturing those relationships with your friends and your family? This is something that I really practice. It makes me feel so good to be around friends and family. Like, I just like that dynamic. I love getting drinks with my friends, having dinner, being around my family, being around my cousins, and just talking and having that girl talk. Like, that's really dope to me. So either spending time with your friends, spending time with your boys, whatever it is that you're doing, just spending time with people, that really just genuinely feels good. You're laughing, you're not thinking about anything, you're catching up. So social self-care, really spending time with your friends. Then you have the mental self-care, like making time for things that mentally stimulate you and just being mentally happy. So just having self-acceptance and having compassion and meditating and doing certain things like that to really like fuel your mind, whether it's reading or solving a puzzle or reading a magazine or whatever it is. What are you doing for your mental self-care? What are you doing to really enhance that? The fourth thing is your spiritual self-care. So including religion or spirituality, it really helps with just kind of understanding the higher purpose and how that all ties together. So praying and discussing with yourself and God or whoever you believe in, but understanding like your life and just talking about with God or whoever the spiritual practices that you do that you find fulfilling, which is, it may be going to church, it may be going to Bible study, it may be whatever it is, any place that you get to engage with your higher self or with whoever you your religion is. So your spiritual self-care, and that really does help a lot of people. So just having that spiritual sense and having you have that deeper sense of meaning and just connecting a little bit better, just having that connectivity, like get into that Wi-Fi. It's like that connectivity. Then you have your emotional self-care. What are you doing to process your emotions? Like, what are the healthy things that you're doing when you're upset? And what activities do you do to make yourself recharge? When you have anxiety or anger or sadness, like, do you talk to one of your friends? Do you do any activities to just really calm you down? I do emotional self-care, as I stated before, with my mask and everything like that. Something else that I love to do too is getting a pedicure, getting a manicure, because sometimes my feet, we ain't gonna get to that. I'm not gonna just, make you guys get sick because my feet look crazy sometimes. And then the last thing, last but not least, is doing nothing, doing absolutely nothing, right? So that is the 6 steps. The last step, and what I mean by doing nothing, what I mean by that is getting on Netflix and watching a show, watching a documentary, watching a YouTube video, not really doing anything that's too like that involves too much. But that's what I mean. Any type of leisure or just staying still or just doing nothing, not wallowing or getting yourself deeper into your thoughts because sometimes that's not healthy, but sometimes just doing nothing. Just like, yep, I watched the full episode of Tiger King. you know, the whole docu series, and it was entertaining, and that's what I did today. Great. you know, giving yourself, different goals for yourself as well. Very small, practical goals. Like, you know what, today I'm going to clean and I'm going to clean in pieces. I'm going to clean my room. I'm going to clean my bathroom, whatever it is that you need to do. So, just to go over, you have your physical self care. That's number one. Your social self care is number two. Your mental self care is number three. Your spiritual self care is number four. Your emotional self care is number five. And then nothing self care is number six. Just nothing, just watching TV and just relaxing. So I feel like just these are the different types of self care. You can find whatever works for you. If you do have something that you're doing, I would love to hear about it. Definitely let me know because there's always so many interesting things that we can do to just be in a better space. So these are some of the tips that I wanted to share with you. And I shared you mine and also talked about why it's so important to have a self care routine. Stress, depression, anxiety, all of these things happened because for me, at least, I never trusted the process. I was always thinking about the next steps and doing all of these things. And then on top of experiencing these things, I didn't have a process at all. And even though I talked to my friends and I would do that, I wasn't doing it all the time. So developing your self-care also allows you to be more open because you're in a very sedative, calm state. So you feel better in talking about it, whether you're talking to a professional or talking to a friend or talking to a family member or your partner, you just feel better actually saying, you know what, I'm not all right. I'm not okay. And that can also help you get to the help that you need a bit faster and help you get to your best self a bit faster. So I really want to know, like, what do you guys do? What is your self-care routines if you have one? And if you're going to develop one based on this episode, which one do you would like really resonated with you? Like, I really, really would love to know because self-care is what we have to do. I know there's like a big talk about it and it's like, oh, it's like all of a sudden this big craze, but the truth is it's necessary. You need to figure one of these things out that really works for you just to keep you back so that you can recharge anytime. You don't need to wait for Sunday. You need to recharge any moment. You have this down packed. Ooh, my nice soothing beat is back. It's so fitting for this episode. I just want you to naturally just be calm, to just kind of give you a little jump start. So, are you thinking about doing a solo trip? Are you thinking about enhancing your self care routine or maybe adding a self care routine? I think it's really important that you do that just for yourself. It should be fun. It should be something that you like and something really simple and easy. And just you need to understand really what your emotional capacity is. When can you say enough is enough? I need a break and I need to do something that's just going to make me smile, whatever that is. I wanted to read a quote for you, and the quote said, "Self care is giving the world the best of you instead of what's left of you." So you don't need to be draining and drown and out. It's really important to take time for yourself, have that clarity, and nurture your relationship with you first so that you can nurture your relationship with others. I cannot wait to interact with you guys. I really feel like we are like best friends. Like we are so close. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for stopping by and listening to this episode. There's so much more. So much more for us to get into. But I just wanted to take care of our souls. We're going to continue to take care of the soul and understand that, you know, We have our moments. We're going to figure this all out together. So, yeah, let me know. What is your self care routine? What do you do? What do you enjoy? What hobbies do you like? Or what shows do you like? What do you do to make you smile today, to make yourself happy? I would love to hear about it. Again, thank you so much for stopping by again. You guys always come and just make me so happy. Like, you guys are like my favorite guests, okay? I don't have to clean anything. It's great. It's great. Thank you guys for stopping by. Save the Good Girl. I will see you again or talk to you again next week. I'm excited. Stay tuned for so much more delicious, fun conversations. I feel like we're connecting, so let's make sure we're connected. You can find Save the Good Girl on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Did you know about the Save the Good Girl blog? Yes, there is a blog. Check out SaveTheGoodGirl.com to subscribe to the fabulous VIP email list and be the first to know about new podcast episodes, new blog posts, and giveaways. In addition to listening to Save the Good Girl on many platforms like Apple, Google, Spotify, and many more, you can also subscribe to the Save the Good Girl YouTube channel if YouTube is more of your thing. There are so many options to stay connected and be a part of the Save the Good Girl community. For all updates, or if you just want to contact me to say hello, ask me a question, or send me a comment, check out the contact section on SaveTheGoodGirl.com.